Facebook going live. Oh my gosh, here we are. It's the closing ceremonies today. I can't believe it. Sweet. Say hi to people on YouTube. There are 29 people there right now.
Sweet.
What time does this stream start? Right now.
You've done it.
Immediately. You've come to the right location. I feel like I'm going to need to be able to see those ones better. We'll see. We'll see how it goes here.
We can put my computer in front of you.
Okay.
It'll just be crazy times.
Welcome, everyone, to Unsettled Closing Ceremonies. We've got some important things going on. Teresa's going to be doing a few events. Tom's going to be doing a few events for closing ceremonies. We will have a medal ceremony at the end.
Are you aware of any events?
I am not.
Okay.
I'll make it up as I go.
This is going to be good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm lying. It's not true. William says hi. What's up, William?
William.
Hi. Neil's over here. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my gosh, everyone else is so excited. Bethany's so excited. I've rated the entire office for candy. And what did we come up with? Couple chocolates.
Or is it Lindor?
Here comes D-Lock. D-Lock in the house.
I have arrived.
You've arrived.
Okay, everyone. Who else? Oh, Mike's here. Hey, Mike. Tiffany's popping in. Dinah's here, of course.
Hi, Dinah.
Sweet. We're looking all over. There's screens everywhere. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if we have wandering eye.
Too many screens.
Also, I'm trying out my special new blue light glasses today, so you'll have to tell me how.
Is everything blue?
No, it's like opposite, right?
Oh,
Blue light blocking.
that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
No blue.
Yeah.
That I don't wear glasses, so none of this makes sense. But
so
we're fine.
her hair is orange. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's a block.
No,
there's
that's
a block
not
versus
how
hair.
it works. That's not
Does it
it.
look different though?
I am now in the Orange
That's
Nebula.
not how it
Wearing her
works.
glasses.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Timmy says it's his first time watching Facebook Live.
All right.
Well,
There's your
welcome, Timmy.
For
YouTube
us.
questions.
Thank you. That's so nice. Okay, so listen, for real, the point of today is just to get to hang out together. This has been obviously a really insane, kind of crazy couple weeks for us, and we are so grateful and happy and just want to be able to kind of sit and hang out for an hour. So we'll ask you questions.
Yes.
You can-
Surprise.
you
This
can-
is a reverse AMA.
You can ask us questions. Blue light is bad. You're right, Jason. Thank you. See, they get it.
Well, that is bad. Like,
They get
We
it.
don't
None
know.
of you even
I
We don't know anything.
cared.
What do we know?
None of you even cared.
What do you expect from us? Us to be smart? Yeesh.
Okay.
I don't remember not caring about that one. Was this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Earlier today.
Am I guilty of this?
Bob,
Okay.
Are you-
sorry.
are you ever not
I'm sorry,
guilty?
Lacey.
I forget you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have a question. I'm seeing somebody in here saying that
Questions.
they're feeling like they're sad.
Oh.
Are we sad? Are we feeling sad at all?
Yeah.
A little bit.
To have it be closing?
Mhm.
Oh,
Community
yeah,
thing
that's-
has been so awesome.
The community thing.
The
Whatever
community
that
thing.
is.
That thing that
That
happens.
nebulous
yes.
activity.
Here's what makes me sad about the end of a Kickstarter. The next day, I never know what to do with my hands because I have spent the last 3 weeks like going from Kickstarter to Kick Track to Kickstarter to Kick Track, refreshing.
Yeah, like the routine you develop is like
Yes, I have nothing to look
Comments
forward
and
to.
Facebook and all the
smart.
things, all the
It is
places.
a weird falling off because you go from having 600,000 million things to do a minute to just
Hmm.
crickets.
It is kind of sad, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. there's
Crickets
lots of
being
things.
normal life, but relative to the way that it has been, it always feels weird.
Suddenly, not everything's on fire.
Yeah, and you miss the fire.
But it feels very connected too in the moment. Like I feel like for weeks we get to engage at a certain level that doesn't exist later.
Mhm.
So
I agree.
Well, and the most amped up engagement portion happens right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
we're all really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the last day of
So
high
don't go
school.
anywhere. Keep hanging out in the
It is.
Unsettled Facebook group and
like
the
that.
Outpost Facebook group and goof with us because we're always here being goofy, whether there's a
Goof.
campaign going or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which laptop is recording? Those two?
Both.
Yeah,
Don't
those
slap
two.
dogs.
There's
Four-
five
there's four-
screens.
There's
Yeah,
five
yeah, we're-
screens happening right now,
We
and
can
this
do
one's
these
like a
ups.
little bit lagged, so it's it's fun. Okay, so somebody said the thing that they're gonna miss most is Oatmeal Dragon.
Oatmeal Dragon's not going anywhere.
It's
Don't-
gonna live on.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like we found a good home for.
We're
Oatmeal
changing the
Dragon.
name of our company to
Just
Oatmeal
Oatmeal
Dragon.
Dragon.
And, yeah, it's just going to be comic books and animation studio.
We're not
kinda
really
brilliant.
joking, actually.
Oatmeal Dragon will live on for sure.
Yeah, that
no
was.
doubt.
What's the
Definitely not the
first
last to see.
Oatmeal Dragon merch gonna be?
Oh,
We actually
gosh.
do know what that's going to be.
Do we?
You're going to have to. Yeah, it's coming.
I will say this though: the extent to which there is more Oatmeal Dragon merch depends on the success of the first Oatmeal
Ooh.
Dragon merch.
This is
so,
true.
Right.
just saying
So
that.
how much do you love Oatmeal Dragon?
Mhm. You must prove your love and worthiness of
Nick
Oatmeal
Dixon
Dragon.
wants an Oatmeal Dragon onesie.
Oh man,
Man,
that
he-
sounds
he-
awesome.
he
I
went
think I'm gonna
straight to
start
our
knitting.
secret weapon.
That's right.
I have
Cat's
two.
out of the bag.
I have two onesies right now, and if I had an Oatmeal Dragon onesie to add
That
to
should
my
just be
onesie
complete.
collection,
The
I have-
trifecta would be complete.
yes.
I have 0 onesies.
Really?
Do you have like a onesie recommendation?
Like where to go?
Yeah.
Target.
Where do the cool kids get onesies these days?
Target, Fred Meyer,
Okay.
Walmart, even all the onesies.
I got my only one.
That list makes sense.
Who else has a onesie? I know I'm not alone
Yeah,
in
sound off if
this.
you have a onesie. And
Christmas
what is
onesie.
on the onesie? Like, is it a unicorn onesie? We demand answers.
What's it? We're talking adult onesies, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are we talking like union suit with like the butt flap, or
No,
No, that was. I seriously got my entire family Christmas onesies with booty flaps.
you did.
That said special delivery.
like full on like child onesie? But,
Yeah.
but
Booty flap. Is that the name?
That
is that
is-
what it's called?
Yeah.
Booty
and
flap.
it's
A booty
technically
flap.
butt flap, but I was trying to,
Does your
Booty flap.
onesie?
I even got my
Flap.
mother.
Tone it
in law
down
with
for
that
the live
onesie.
stream.
It was
Jason
amazing.
Hudson just gave us the face palm.
that's
Listen,
fair. Let's
okay,
just do that
yeah.
every
That's
like,
an accurate.
just do that every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
and-
Fine.
Just
Okay, so a few things. One is at least somebody's acknowledging. So now that the campaign's over, the real work starts.
This is my first one,
Yeah,
guys.
we
They
got
lied
Let
to
us
me.
have denial.
Done.
Like
That's
this.
right.
Oh, he's not
Let's go back
wrong.
to talking about face palms.
We're just gonna sleep for 4 weeks and then we'll be back.
Yeah, and then we just get to move on to something else.
It's
Yeah.
true though. The real work really does start now. I mean,
A lot
I
of the so yes and no. So a lot of the real work is done because that took 3 years. The real work of getting this thing finalized and super tweaked, all the planets, and then getting it ready for manufacturing and all that still exists. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's
there's
a
A
but
lot
that's
long road
important
ahead.
work.
compared to what we put in already though. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's a smaller sliver, but it still is a lot of work. Yes, and
Well, there's a lot of different work coming. All the logistical stuff is a whole different can of worms. But we've opened that can before, so it's going to be a little less surprising this time.
Yeah.
Super surprise Kansas.
What's your favorite face palm, Derek? Like,
Like, oh, it's the Picard
Thank
face
you.
palm.
Okay,
It has
that's
to be.
all I
The
need to
Picard
hear.
face
No,
palm
there's
is a good
no
one.
other. I mean, like the Fozzie Bear
okay,
face palm is like a close second, but like Picard.
that's what the list
is-
stops. for.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
There's only
want you to
two.
know that
No,
they're
that's
still
not true.
talking about
what's
onesies.
what's the statue?
That's good.
There's some like Greek statue doing a face palm.
I know what you're talking
Also
about.
solid.
Noah, whatever. The real work.
Noah.
Okay.
Shout out Noah from Game Trays, man. How
Yeah.
you
Noah
doing?
actually has majorly stepped up, so
For
props
real.
Good to
props
see
to
you,
real
Noah.
work.
True.
How are the pigs? If you don't know this, Noah has pigs instead of children.
Like in the house, like mini
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
sometimes
like-
they're not mini either.
No, yeah.
They're like the size of me practically.
So he has like legit hogs.
Yeah.
So we got some comments there.
Right.
Nick, the BGG winners are already announced on the BGG site. I just saw those today, so they're front and center.
So if you're looking for who the winner is, there just one?
There's 5.
Who the
Okay.
5 winners are from the BGG? Is it a con giveaway?
Yeah.
You can. It's up now, so you can go to BGG to find that.
It's all just respellings of Mark's name.
No Americans won that.
Barbecue.
5.
See.
That's like last time.
International. Yeah, it's cool. There were a few
Okay.
other comments in there. I don't know. Do we want to? You're in charge.
Well, I just see
I'll
Team
step
Oatmeal
off your
Dragon, which
platform, Lacey.
This I don't know this person. Their username is 17th Night. They say, okay, so how does something like this even get started? Do you just find people you know and go, hey, wanted to devote a couple years to making a board game.
That's
Kinda.
not super inaccurate.
But it's like, it starts slow. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Orange Nebula is one side of our company. The other side is called Blue Blazes. And so it's a design agency or a brand identity company. So basically, we've been doing that. I mean, Mark's been in charge of that for nearly 20 years, you know. So Orange Nebula was our first time going out and creating our own products, bringing our own products to market. So a lot of us have been palling around on the design side. And then, you know, we fish Tom in, we fish Teresa in, we lure them with snacks.
Yeah,
Snacks are effective.
they are.
Had bagels today. I mean, that's a winning combination.
We get lunch on the regular.
To answer the question though, you just gotta want it and
do it.
do it.
And pursue your passions, because that's where vindication started from. You know, even if it's a little work here and there, just keep working at it.
Spare time. Yeah.
Well,
There's no spare time.
Own how little you know and start asking things of people.
Mhm.
Get into the Facebook groups, figure out who knows stuff, politely ask them questions. It's amazing how much people are willing to interact and engage and explain and teach you. And
You may find that you even know more than you thought you knew.
3 years ago, we knew nothing about bringing a board game into the world.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Tom and I think it was like 3 weeks ago, maybe right before the campaign launched. How long? I don't know time right now. How long was it going?
I don't know.
3 weeks? Is that how long we went?
Yeah,
21
3
days.
weeks.
1
Yeah.
month?
21 days.
Is it
So
2020 yet?
right before the campaign started, you know, Tom's like, how you doing? What's your day today? And I'm like, oh, I gotta do all this. He goes, I really didn't realize how much all of this is just grinding. Like,
Most of it's grinding.
like even throughout the campaign, it's not like this nice, pretty packaged bow of a process that you do. It's you just grind and grind and grind and grind every single day. Yes.
But it is rewarding. It's like parenting, right? It's just hard work all the time and the best thing in the world. So
Yeah.
It is hard work all the time to be a parent.
most things that are rewarding are hard work.
Noah says we fished him in too.
Oh.
That's right.
Bring it in, bring it in. I've never fished. Am I doing it right?
Dude,
Noah's
look at that
avatar
wrist
kills me.
My golfing days.
What is his avatar?
I'll,
It's him flexing.
yeah,
No.
Okay.
at least.
Just flex.
Jim Priest says it starts in a bar with an old man with a map and a quest.
He's not too far off. Mark found me in a coffee shop. I was like, what are you doodling? What is that?
What you doodling?
Yeah.
That's right.
Show us a picture of the O-Neb panel van that recruits people with snacks. It's usually inside a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Chris,
Most of it is inside a coffee
He
a coffee
hunts in
shop.
target rich environments.
Spreadsheet the game is exactly right, Ryan.
Seriously.
Ugh.
Spreadsheets. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Make a game about making games.
We got
It's a terrible
another.
boring game.
We got another question on here, which I thought was kind of interesting too. How did this campaign compare to your expectations prior to launch? Okay, so we get prepared for the launch. We are nervous and excited, and we have some expectations built up. So how did it play out compared to our expectations?
Always blown away.
I'll let you go, then I'll go.
Yeah, that's a really hard one to answer. So on our last campaign, we had a much better idea of what to expect. You know, Vindication had been well reviewed. Kickstarter was in a much more stable place. I estimated that campaign within like $5,000
Yeah. it's great.
before we even launched. This campaign, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I really I would not have been surprised if we did 300,000.
Mhm.
I'm also not totally surprised that we did this. There was always an outside shot of doing this. And Kickstarter is in a weird place right now. We went live over Christmas, which everyone,
Said
prevailing
bad
wisdom,
idea.
claims that that's a bad idea. So there were a lot of unknown variables in this one. So we just kind of did our best and went for it and trusted our gut on a lot of things when people told us we were wrong. And yeah, we just trusted and had faith and went for it.
Our goal is to be the company you love more than push a product out into the world. And so the visibility is a bigger part of the equation to me than a funding goal or anything like that. I will tell you that we did some hard research and went against the grain, even though we were warned not to launch in the holidays. Such a bad thing to do in the holidays. And we also looked at the opportunity and said, well, nobody else is doing it in the holidays. That really creates a unique opportunity. And so we decided to take a big swing and take a big risk and go for it and put ourselves out there in a place where we thought, well, we think we can create a really cool engagement through the holidays and after the holidays and into January. And I think that really paid off. I mean, I think the research that we did, despite whatever the meta was on that, has worked out really well.
Well, and because community engagement is the heart of what we are doing, and it is what drives our campaigns. What if the goal for our campaigns is community engagement? What better time to be live than the holidays?
When people have a little bit of time off.
Yeah, where either people have time off or they are with family and feeling very like community and sentimental,
and even more open and creative.
Or the holidays are also for a lot of people a time where they don't feel like they notice an absence of community in their life. And being live during the holidays is the perfect time to focus on community for any number of reasons.
Yeah, the holidays are not a great time for a lot of people. And so maybe this is an opportunity to engage and have some joy. And if it is a wonderful time, then engage in that spirit as well. And so, yeah, it was really, it really is focused on that engagement and kind of inspiring each other and coming up with crazy, wacky ideas for planets. And I mean,
oatmeal dragons.
Yeah. And so going all the way back to the question, we didn't know where the numbers were going to hit. And quite honestly, we knew that we were going to be fine no matter what. Like if it hit for 20% of this, or if it hit for 10 times this, we looked at each other and said, what's going to stop us? You know, and
we'll figure it out.
That's the truth. And that's absolutely the truth. We'll figure it out. And if you have that spirit, I feel like you can do almost anything.
All right, enough jibber jabber.
Thank you.
Enough of that. Anyway.
Carla Thompson said that she's so excited for us and so excited for all the recipients of the game. And I think that's so big for us too.
That's my mom.
It is? That's your mom?
Yes.
Hi, Tom's mom. I'm so sorry.
I like that last line.
Sweet.
Hope you will all take a full weekend to sleep and play.
Will we?
Better.
I mean,
Sleeping is in the future for sure. I don't know about playing.
Sleeping should be.
Okay, here's a question from YouTube. Mark with a K wants to know if this campaign was any easier than the Vindication campaigns because we've had prior experience. Easier? Harder?
More familiar?
You go.
More familiar, yes. They will never be easy just because of the amount of work.
Right.
I mean, I get really uncomfortable talking about working a lot because it frustrates me when people do that. So just grain of salt there. But that's what I'm now doing. But like running these campaigns, you know, that it's working 20 hours a day for 3 weeks. You know, there's no amount of it being easy, no matter how prepared you are. It is just grueling, if you can say that, for something like this. That said, we went into this knowing what to expect and having a plan, and we had done it before. And so, yes and no. Yes, it was. Well, how did you put it a second ago?
I feel like familiar.
Familiar,
you know what to expect, at least in some way, shape, or form.
What was easier this time is we have more bodies.
Yeah.
You know, Teresa's here.
Viola's
here. So especially with the way that this campaign had more engagement than the last one, there were more questions to be answered. The sheer magnitude of messages behind the scenes is
you'd be blown away.
It like dozens and dozens and dozens of messages a minute. Like it is literally, there's no way to exaggerate the number of messages that are coming in.
And we have like other things that we
more
do.
people help with that.
Like we have other stuff that we do. We have to run another side of a company too. I mean, it's kind of crazy. We could sit and answer all the questions for every moment of the day and still not be done.
It's crunch time. It's thrown an event, right? You prepare for it, you go all in, you work like crazy,
Kind of the fun of it, though,
and then you
right?
kind of come down. Yeah, and
Hectic nature.
So the answer is it's easier because Teresa.
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
the short answer. Yeah.
it's a
Uh-huh.
different animal too. I think every campaign is different. This one has some complexities to it with the structures of the planet boxes and communicating. It's a different type of a game. So
Mike wants to know what
Oh,
our
God.
favorite cookie is. Okay,
Oh, bless
Teresa,
you.
what's your favorite cookie?
Anything
Oh,
gluten free.
Mike.
Anything.
My favorite is a gluten cookie, just pure gluten.
Is this my
Gluten
Pascal?
cookies?
It
Yes,
is.
it's
It
Pascal.
is. No, honestly, like I fell in love with the. I
Cookies
made them
in
this
Florida?
Christmas. The butter or the peanut butter cookies with the Hershey Kiss on top.
Oh yeah, they're called blossoms.
Yeah.
Peanut butter
Oh.
blossoms.
Yes.
With the kiss on top?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. That's what they're
I
called.
think that's right either.
It's peanut butter
That's like-
blossoms.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
like
it
a
is.
family name.
Okay, I don't care what they're
That's just
called.
like- yeah,
they're
family.
great.
Rejected.
I
Localized
rediscovered
name.
them this Christmas.
My
What's
dog-
your
sorry,
favorite? I like the.
I'm just reading random questions and just disrupting the flow. But Jason Hutton wants to know who the Feudum champion is, and that would be my
That's my
youngest
daughter.
My youngest daughter, Ayla, she's 13, and she destroys everyone at Feudum, including me, repeatedly. Just so you know. Yeah.
Jeremy Wagner says he just finished watching the 3-hour playthrough video. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah, that was 3 hours.
Biggest complaint is that they have to wait to
Good
play
review.
it. Been looking for they said Lost in Space type game for years.
That's
waiting
my biggest
to knock it out of
complaint
the park.
too.
Then we have to wait for them to play it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a prototype of this game, by the way. I would like to play it.
Okay, there's so much going on here. Derek, what's your favorite cookie?
Oh,
Did you already answer
oatmeal
that?
raisin. I know it's a very controversial
Oh.
cookie. It's so good.
What's controversial about that?
No,
Those are
it's
yummy.
camouflaged to look like a chocolate chip
So
cookie.
you put chocolate
So
chips
You
in the.
look at it, you're like, oh, it's a chocolate chip. You're like, jerks. This is
They're so
No, it's
good.
the opposite. I think
It's
it's a chocolate
rocket.
chip. I'm like, wait, are those raisins? Okay.
I love raisins.
Yeah, I'll go for the oatmeal raisin for sure. Chocolate chips overrated.
Thank you. All
I feel that.
But see, if you put chocolate chips in the oatmeal raisin, it's literally the best of both worlds.
okay. You should do that.
Mike, what's your favorite cookie?
Yes.
Yeah, Mike.
Drop that in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll
gotta
have
get-
to- There's 70
I know.
comments.
I got to get down through all these comments.
Let's hit Allie's there.
Okay, Allie, love the company and the culture. Congrats on the Kickstarter. On the fence regarding complexity and if this game is going to be approachable outside of hardcore gamers. Perfectly fine if it's more geared towards hardcore gamers.
So I may just push this to Tom in a second, but the 3-hour playthrough that we had, the kind of teach and play, the long version of the game, there was, I forget her name. Sorry. Lindy, yeah. My understanding is not only was that her first play of that game, but she doesn't play a lot of games in general.
I think someone said that.
Right.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, as a cooperative game, it's inherently a little bit easier, but this is not necessarily a hardcore, heavy game.
No, I don't think so. I think the learning curve and explaining some of the mechanics is probably going to require at least one person who's a seasoned gamer to kind of lay the groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
But
Peanut
once,
butter blossoms.
Oh, glory be hallelujah.
Okay, let's all
Okay,
finish.
sorry.
no, I mean that takes precedent.
Peanut butter blossoms.
Word. Is that the word? But no, I don't think it's a really heavy game, and it's if you've played Vindication, it's in the same realm of it feels like a lot at first, and then the second you get it, it's really straightforward.
I would agree too, because technically I would not consider myself a hardcore gamer. But it's easy for me to get in, learn the rules, play, teach other people, help other people. So
Mhm.
It's very much a game that a family could play together.
Mhm.
Very, very much.
Yeah,
Peanut butter
we
blossoms.
challenge ourselves when we're designing something. First, we come up with all the fun ideas we can have, and then we work really hard to remove as many of them as possible and streamline it down to the most intuitive set of actions where if you're holding a thing and you look at the table, it's pretty obvious what you can do with the thing. And I feel like we've gotten pretty close to making that a reality.
I think this game is a lot simpler than Vindication is. Just in terms of straight learning curve, or if you're going to balance a mechanic like they do on BGG between 1 and 5, I think this game would be lower than Vindication.
I'm to
What are
the
your
point
thoughts?
where I agree with that.
I agree
Yeah.
too, because
Similar, maybe.
from the cooperative standpoint, you can lean too on other people, and so it makes it less difficult. The point of entry is lower. Is that the right way to say
Well,
it?
Vindication has some mechanics that involve like converting things and merging things and stuff like that. This game doesn't have any type. It doesn't require any of that thinking. What's the thing you laughed at?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's just a bunch of stuff about peanut butter blossoms because I was right. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I knew that was gonna happen.
Well, then you shouldn't go
How does it feel to be right?
It feels great
Publicly
and
vindicated.
normal, to be right. It feels like just.
I'm
Okay.
going with Peterson's.
Brett
Andy's Mint
Peterson
cookies.
says
Yeah.
Andy's
Oh.
Mint cookies. Those look
Yeah.
great.
That's
I'm
the,
gonna go back
that's
on
the
this.
proper one.
Go back on this live stream and make some cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will this live stream be available later? Yes, on
The
Facebook.
Facebook ones will save.
Yeah,
I don't know about the YouTube.
It saves
YouTube also
re-uploads.
saves, yeah.
Okay. It'll be right on our main Orange Nebula page as well as in our Unsettled board game page.
So you can go to bed or back to work or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Brett also says backing the game out of trust. Vindication was my favorite game of 2018.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thanks, Brett.
that feels so good.
It's yeah. Let me just touch on that for a second.
Still owe Brett a Cockapoo.
Yeah. Kickstarter is an early adoption model, and it's impossible for us to show everything in context for people to make the ultimate decision, right? Having played the game is the best way to make a decision. You can't really do that. And so we know that. We know that, we weren't able to give this full context or show you all the bells and whistles in a 3 weeks, digital presentation. That being said, hopefully, those who have seen Vindication or, at least know that we're going to expend every effort to make sure that this is worthy of our career work, right? Like this is our life, this is our livelihood. So we are going to do that.
Okay, I like, Ryan also wants to know if Tuk Tuk is going to make an appearance, like today or somewhere else.
Unless you got that.
Oh
One
yeah,
of the big one.
that was
How funny of you to ask. There's
Guess
Magnum,
who?
Tuk Tuk.
yeah.
It was right behind you.
Okay, so we got two screens. People on Facebook are like, what are you doing?
Okay.
Facebook always asks me that question.
That's a fair question when you're on Facebook.
You know what else? I think we could have okay, listen. What about Oatmeal Dragon versus Tuk Tuk?
Oh.
Like, okay.
All right,
You mean
All
the
right.
sweet
Versus-
kaiju shirt? Yeah, that's
Okay.
Got
a
to like,
novel idea.
I like-
scarf with
See what I
one
deal
tail
with every
being
day?
Tuk Tuk, one
you
two.
love it.
Oh my
being
gosh.
Dragon.
I like this question from Mike again. Okay, serious question.
Battlescarf.
Serious
Orange
question.
Nebula.
This is not a cookies
Hold
question.
on, we're inventing Battlescarf right now.
Okay.
Yeah, keep up, Lace.
Okay. Everyone has different interests and strengths. From the most earliest point of design, what's your favorite single aspect of the design process for Unsettled? Is it the same as it was for Vindication? Now it's going to be totally different because Vindication happened a lot with Mark on his own and with his play group and all of his play testers, and none of us were really in on that at that point. So, I mean, Tom came in on the expansion. Tom and Mark did all of Unsettled together.
Yeah, well, so now we have done this a couple times now to where we have a methodology for how we develop and design these games, and
Pretty loose, but yes.
but generally speaking, we jump off from a sacred concept for that game. So with Vindication, the sacred concept that all the mechanics were born from, the theme was born from, everything about it came out of this study of, it was an exploration of heroism and honor. This was an exploration of group trust and group cohesion. And so from the beginning, that was the sacred concept, and everything stemmed from that. So on all of our projects, that's kind of how we challenge ourselves, is not, let's make a cool Western game, or what would a neat space game be? It's no, what is a really interesting concept to explore? And I've cracked up Mark with something I
I
did.
was just thinking about the process for the game. Is like if you take a pen and you draw a line from the beginning to the end, it would look like this giant black ball by the time they're done because of all the changes and it's a tremendous amount of trial and error.
He's got problems with his wrists from drawing all these giant black.
Well, and also, I'll just speak for you a little bit, but Mark and I are very similar. But we're kind of perfectionists, and Mark and I designed a dozen games while making this game. We had so many things that we could have taken to market, but they just weren't the game yet.
Yeah.
So I think my favorite part of the process is just continuing to search until you find that thing where it's like, there it is.
Yeah.
Not just this is a game that works. This is the game we've been searching for.
At the end of the day, it's a game, but for me, it's different. It's an experience. It's like, how can I create joy at a table? How can I create conversations and things that people talk about later? Whether or not I succeed is beside the point. It's much more about experience and is this going to make somebody laugh? Is this going to make somebody think? Is this going to make somebody more aware of how what they do and say affects other people? Was what this one was. So, you can decide for yourselves what if we did that. But that's the difference between, I think, making a product and doing something a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
If we're speaking to the design process too, I know I can speak a little bit for myself, but I would love to prompt you a little bit too, Teresa. Like, Teresa is so good at knowing things. If you don't know this yet, I'm considering a YouTube playlist that would star Teresa called In the Weeds with Teresa.
Oh,
So just Teresa's brain.
Teresa Talks. Something like that.
Into the
Talking
Teresa.
with Teresa.
Because we'll be like, okay, so we're going to be on this fungal planet. So what could happen? And she's like,
Oh, a fungal planet. Okay. So it would depend on what kind of fungus. I mean, there are funguses. Okay. So there is a mushroom death suit that I've seen. I either want a burning funeral pyre when I die, or because that probably breaks several federal laws. I've decided as a compromise to have a mushroom death suit. You can look it up. It's fantastic. So you can get this suit that is covered with veins of spores that have special fungus that break down the heavy metals and poisons within our bodies we all build up. And so then your body doesn't pollute the ground like the cemetery. When you go through embalming, you're full of formaldehyde, you're full of all these different things that the embalmer puts on you and all the stuff you accumulated.
so that was about 5 different cards we could create based
Also,
on.
if Lacey hadn't talked over her, she would
I would
have
have kept
gone
going.
Would have gone for hours.
indefinitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Without
There's no
ceasing.
end in sight.
So I think that's like Teresa's real talent in this. The only thing that I actually enjoy in the design process is talking about like the core concept and making sure that everyone is staying on the core concept. When they start getting into the rules and then the rules change and whatnot, if I'm not in charge, I don't want to be a part of it.
That says something about Lacey.
So I hang out until we've got a good core concept and then pop back in whenever you want to talk about if things make sense properly. Otherwise, leave me out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's too irritating for me.
Varied perspectives have made this game, I think, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of pushed new ideas into it, and Lacey's been a big part of that.
Okay, so we got a good chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Oh, bless you.
Of course, Brett Peterson here is saying there has to be a meta vindication planet where you land on the planet where
so.
vindication happened,
Definitely.
help people on the planet to get vindicated. Wow.
Mark and I
Great
have had a
things.
conversation when we were at BGG Con, and we had a long conversation about finding a planet that's just the vindication planet, like 1,000 years later, and there's just ruins of it all over the place. And it's not in the game yet, but it's a very fun
But
idea.
Claude is still there,
It's a
right?
cool idea.
Yeah, Claude's body.
Claude?
Claude is still there, yeah.
There's a statue of Claude. He ascends into like
Yes,
godhood.
I don't know if you know
God
Claude.
Claude.
If you
God,
played,
Claude.
if you played Vindication, Claude is in the Pets expansion, and and Mark and I saw a squirrel carrying a Jimmy John sandwich up a tree for real life.
Jimmy John's is delicious. I don't blame that squirrel.
Okay,
That squirrel knows what's good.
I've
That
got
squirrel's my spirit animal.
I've got a question over here in YouTube. How big is the O-Neb team, and how do you divvy up responsibilities?
Do
You
we
walk
divvy
in
up
at the wrong
responsibilities?
time and you get told
Yeah.
We
what
all
you're
kind of
doing.
like, yeah, we all kind of back and forth.
Take it, Mark.
There are 7
We're
of us
specialties.
full time, and well, there's 6 plus Lacey, and yeah, I don't know how we divvy up responsibilities. we just kind of do all the things and wear all the hats.
We like our superpowers, right?
Yeah.
And then like we do other things as well. Like
That's
my
true.
superpower is digital, so
Yeah.
e-blast, website stuff.
Mhm.
But
Everyone wears a
we do
lot of
literally
hats.
anything
It's a
else.
small team, and everyone does what needs to be done at any given time.
It works really well because we're all really all willing to pitch in.
If we
Lend a
weren't,
hand.
if we weren't like family, this would not work at
Talks
all.
to
That is true.
would
because
kill
we
each
do
other.
it.
I
We
have
don't-
talked to
it's-
plants.
It takes a lot of grace and forgiveness. And
We're becoming more and
Patience.
more structured as we go.
Hey Bree, thank you. Bree says I would subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
To all of our
Subscribe
YouTube
to
watchers.
Okay, so have we decided there is no way you divvy up? That's the answer you're giving.
we're working on a
I'll tell
structured divvy.
Okay, I'll tell you
Our
what I
flow
think the
chart is
answer
like
is.
this.
Yeah, really.
I think the answer is everyone has their own unique skills and gifts and talents and reasons that they're on the earth. And I think that we have to balance here doing those skills and talents that we're made to do and also providing a return on investment, you know? So
Do it.
we're given a
On that
platform.
machine.
What do you need to do?
I have to change a graphic on the Kickstarter page now.
Did you send it to me? There's you can use my laptop. Is it on?
You
It
can.
is on there. We're gonna have to lead right into this.
Crap.
So we're gonna
Oh.
cut you off.
Okay, you want me to do
Um,
this?
Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion. Okay, do you
wanna-
all-
As we're talking about, like,
Just
we
that
got
one.
it together.
Can you do an intro?
it's in there.
Yes. So.
Drum roll,
Are we all
would
doing
you
the drum roll?
What do they know what we're drum rolling?
I mean,
Yeah, the drum roll first.
probably.
Okay, we
So
have,
we've drum rolled now.
Imagine that at
Take
the
it away,
appropriate time.
Lacey.
okay. What
Yeah.
are we announcing?
We are announcing the winners of the naming polls. So we are you have nominated names and voted for and selected the final name for your coral planet, sentient coral world, and the name of the ship that you use in every session of the game.
What could it be?
What do you want? What do they want us to open first?
Okay, do you want to know the name of the planet first or the name of the ship first? Okay, we're waiting for your answers. Do you want to know the name of the planet? Do you want to know the name of the ship? Which one?
The Murderino in me is really excited to see that you can compost bodies.
Everyone's just reading about
I see
composting
planet.
bodies.
William says
William
ship.
says ship.
Done. Ship.
William.
Oh, but-
Ship.
Ship. We got a couple planets over here, but
Okay,
Oh,
planet, ship.
we don't have a
planet,
spreadsheet.
ship, planet.
We
Planet got the
count
5 first.
Okay,
Planet
some
got to
other-
5 first. Okay,
Planet
first.
planet
Will you
first.
open it and
Alright.
hand it to me?
Planet's the winner.
Okay. I feel like I'm in the
Okay, planet first.
Move aside, Oscars.
Planet
O-Neb
first, my friends. Jordan Hanford says chocolate
Super
chip
okay.
cookies.
Ah,
Don't
Creepy
accidentally
friends.
reveal it. You got it backwards?
I think I got it backwards.
Okay,
I
ready?
think I have it backwards.
It's rightwards.
Okay, the planet name is Yendral.
Whoa.
It's a cool name.
I really like that name.
That's
Who-
a
It's a
cool
very
name.
cool name.
Who came up with it? Do you know?
Oh.
It's on a spreadsheet.
Yendral. The planet name is Yendral.
Roll.
You want to hold that up?
Yeah,
Like on the camera, whichever one's.
Is it backwards?
It's backwards. That one shouldn't be though.
Yendral,
Mirror.
my friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, YouTube got it right.
Yendral. Okay,
These are
next
both
is the
revealed to me,
ship.
like, I have no idea what these are. Well, I know what they are, obviously.
Okay.
Where am I?
What color is this? Tell me, entire world.
Okay, the ship name is Scarab.
Whoa.
Woo!
like
Scarab
that.
is the
That's a
ship
good
name.
I'm deeply satisfied with that. Actually,
Yeah.
it gets into the whole like Firefly,
Shell.
Serenity, yeah.
Protection from space. Yeah.
Mhm. Plus it kinda looks like one.
Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
You know, this brings into one of the questions we had earlier.
I know Awesome Mirror was awesome. You're right.
There were a lot of super
Mm,
awesome
yeah.
ones.
Oh, everybody's got to have a moment to grieve.
I know, the grief.
Okay, you can grieve a little. Ryan voted for that one. Good. Okay. I'm sorry for those of you who did not win. 10 out of 10. Super cool names. Good choices.
Would vote again.
Okay.
Did we bury some sweet questions
Yeah, we
in all
did.
this madness?
One of them that ties into this really well that was on YouTube earlier was were we surprised by the kind of creativity that we got from
Nope.
answers?
Not
I
at
was,
not at
but
this
I'm
point.
new to this group. Right?
I wasn't surprised, but it blew my mind, right? Like, I mean, I expected major creativity, and we got it.
I just expect to have my mind blown at this point, and then it
Yeah.
happens, and it's like, here we are again.
There
So,
was
go ahead.
there was one moment. It happened yesterday where there was a list of data fact questions, and I was tasked to come up with all these. And somebody had gone through and said, "Well, this one is this one. This one is this one. This one is this one." And my response was like, "That 100% could be. Those are 100% not my answers, but yeah, those are all viable."
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who was on the last Vindication campaign remembers that this level of creativity is this community. Like the community has embraced the idea of collective creativity, and it's just compiling on itself at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would even just double down on that like the whole entire purpose of Orange Nebula is to inspire not only ourselves but other people to think bigger, to use their creativity to awaken the fire that they have. So no, it's not surprising to get it all, but it's so freaking fulfilling.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it
That
gives
is
me
the goal
goosebumps.
achieved.
Uh-huh.
If you're gonna invest in a gaming experience, how cool is it to be involved in the decisions about it? And I think that's kind of what we're hoping for, and we might do. Well, we're going to do a lot more of that.
I just really like it.
Everybody wants to know if we are going to be using the leftover ideas for more planet content.
Most likely. There were so many very, very, very cool ideas in there. And
Yeah.
a lot of them, even if not directly used, have already done the work of collaboration, the work that ideas have in collaboration, which is trigger new ideas. So, while I was reading through everyone's ideas in the spreadsheet, the whole time I was making notes in the next column, like, oh, we could do this on Lenore if we changed to this, and oh, this would work really well over here. And, so all ideas beget ideas. And some of them I think will probably be straight up used and credited in whatever way we decide to do that. But if not that, a lot of them, their spirit will live on in new ideas, no question.
Fazia, I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it right.
Faisal?
Faisal
And I
said
probably
you
didn't get
missed the names. Yendral
And Scarab, which
Oh, no.
is the
Scarab.
planet name.
Scarab.
Scarab down!
Scarab down.
He was strong here.
Okay.
Scarab.
Scarab.
Scarab. Yeah.
Scrubby.
It's French.
How long do we have, by the way? We got 15 minutes to go. Is that correct?
No, we're going to 4:30.
No, it says 14. No, I mean on the
13
campaign.
minutes on the campaign.
Oh,
Yeah, we
shit,
got
the
13
campaign.
minutes.
I forget about the campaign.
We've got 14
That
minutes
old
left on the
thing.
campaign.
Yeah, take this laptop.
That one?
Take
Okay.
Tom's laptop. Learn to change.
Mark's
the
got to go
graphics.
in and update a graphic on the campaign page
You
right
will now
now.
watch us work on the campaign. It's
Right
super
now.
exciting.
This
This
is
is
true
exactly
behind the
what
scenes.
Somebody said that the planet name is not the one they came up with. Can they cancel their pledge?
Oh,
Yeah,
Mitchell did.
you've got 13 minutes,
Yeah.
Mitchell.
We already canceled.
We canceled it for you.
Canceled. Gerardo wants to know if the 4th scavenger hunt has been completed.
Why is this?
Yeah.
so funky?
Yes. And that graphic has been updated on the campaign page too. So.
Okay.
Is that for the dice?
Yes.
Just referring to. Yeah.
So it has been completed.
Everybody gets a dice. Yep.
Everybody gets a dice.
You get dice.
Congratulations.
You get dice.
Everybody
You
gets
get
dice.
dice.
Everybody.
You over there, you get dice too.
Just throw dice.
That's how you get arrested.
Yeah, for real.
Ryan Wordsmith says Fungus Death Suit. Perfect Norwegian heavy metal band name.
Yeah, I buy the
Actually-
CD.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's really,
Here, actually, you want to just point, and I'll
yeah, because I can't
use
do
my
it.
own.
You'll do it
I'll use my
well.
magic.
I'm scrolling through all these, trying to make
There's a
sure
lot
we're
to
answering
scroll.
people properly. I'm sorry if we don't. Will we reveal the number of votes for curiosity's sake for the planet, etc.? Yes
I
or
don't know.
no?
The two people actually that would know that answer are heavily involved right now, so we'll have to scroll past. But there is a scare of the
Scare
A.
Abe.
Scare Abe.
Scare
we agree.
crashed. You have 3 turns to repair it.
We should scare Abe.
No, go down. It's
One thing that's not on here right now, but one thing I saw people were asking about, like if the survival tasks are different enough that it makes the gameplay, if replayability is still there. So the answer is yes.
Oh yeah,
Because
100%.
especially because it's not just the survival tasks that are going to be mixed up. The survival tasks, the opportunities, the anomalies,
the peculiarity.
the peculiarities.
Good cow.
The
quirks.
Pew.
So yeah, those are all planet specific. So that's all content, and there's stacks of them enough that you will never get through them all in one game. So
There's a lot of permutations to each of these.
you know what I've been thinking about ever since I played that last game with Jared and Lindy is like we should have a contest that's like submit your video of the story of your Unsettled game. It's like
That could be cool.
Yeah.
we crash landed on the planet.
Dun, dun, dun.
Immediately, Jared's face was covered in tentacles. He was hallucinating. He was this. And
I like
Lacey
this.
ended up on the planet alone, waving
Yeah.
goodbye with tentacles wrapped around her as her only friend. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that'd
if
be so
every person who played the game could come up with that story and deliver it.
That'd be incredible.
Bonus points if you have stick figure drawings.
Yes!
We'll have our own little film festival.
Yes!
Move aside, Sundance.
Come to the O-Neb Studios.
Dice, dice, baby.
Nice.
William wants
symbols.
unsettled shirts with the awareness, wonder, energy symbols.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yes, indeed. Will you reveal your love for me? Says Noah. Yes.
No, only for your pigs,
Which
Noah.
Noah?
Our,
Is that Adelman?
Noah, we will only reveal our love for your pigs. That's it.
no, listen. I love you, Noah. And I love your pigs too. I love all. Love all.
You'll take the
The whole
complete
thing.
package.
The whole thing.
Oh, this is so
Why are you trying
nice.
to be the darling?
How did you pronounce his name
Because
again,
I am
Teresa?
darling.
Faisal. I want to say again in here, bestest campaign ever. Super immersed and engaged. I think I developed a condition, asphyxiation, the absence of
Oh,
Orange
yes.
Nebula activity. That's so cute.
Awesome.
He's our favorite.
Somebody needs to do
Mitchell,
the
you've been outvoted.
who can do the support action? No, nobody.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. What?
The support action to get that condition off of him.
I got it. Well,
But we don't want to lose that.
And then
Yeah.
5 is strand.
permanent.
Right.
After the-
This
yeah,
is your
so,
life now.
and then 6.
Okay, what else, my friends? There's a lot on there. Did you
We
finish
got
your
some- we got
task
some
yet?
YouTube.
Yeah, but the YouTube ones are all the way
Comments.
over there because of
Wait, just
your
crawl
life.
over here.
That's close and personal.
Okay.
Fast face forward.
Here we go. Gotcha.
Was 21 the final number of art prints unlocked?
I think there's more.
Who knows? There's still 10
We
minutes.
haven't had chance to count anything. We've been here.
There's still
Count each
It looks
there's
like there's
9
going to be
minutes.
24 or 2 dozen, I think. But we'll verify that at the end.
Right.
Okay.
Quick. Mark and Tom are busy.
This is a
Salvage
good question.
Luna.
Nick Dixon wants to know how much change will there be to components from what we've seen so far to what will actually come out in the boxes?
Here's what I'll say to that. You're going to be happy. We were not able to show all of the things because we don't have all of the advanced, late prototypes yet. But
Anti-tech.
yeah, there's some really good things in store for people who backed this in terms of component quality and a couple surprises that we intentionally wanted to surprise people with. So I'm excited for that.
By the way, Neil Messick, I think, was the one who came up with that planet name.
Hey, good job, Neil. That's awesome.
Okay, thank you for 3 of us clapping. Jeez.
There
We
we
all
go.
clap.
The delay is really odd.
I know, it is. Stop looking at it.
Yeah, look at this camera.
There they are.
Okay, Mark, I don't know if we've talked about this a whole lot. Where did you get the name for Unsettled?
So the name Unsettled just has a double meaning. Based on the story, we wanted it to be, well, you're going to an unsettled planet, an unsettled place, and we want it to be a little bit unsettling because you're freaked out and you're in survival mode and you're trying to stay alive, and your only option is to go down and figure out if you can find what you need to survive in a strange place. So it just has a double meaning. We got the, we registered that trademark, and it feels really good to us. It feels like every time you play this game, it's unsettling, and you're doing something, going to a planet that's never been inhabited before by humans. So
True.
And also, you're literally lost. You have no home. You have no grounding. You're just wandering endlessly.
And all you have is your teammates.
That's
Mhm.
unsettling.
Hey.
so
Yeah.
double meaning, literal.
Sure.
Okay, let's see. This is funny. Aaron Jeffrey, is there anything you developed for this game that didn't make it in, but you want to explore in whatever comes next? There's like 30 things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
Probably.
notebooks full of ideas that will eventually be spun off.
Mhm.
Not next.
Right.
Eventually.
So at some point,
The
Yeah.
vault,
for sure.
the mind vault.
Will any soundtrack suggestions to accompany playing the game or per planet?
I love that idea.
You mean like the screaming glow frog just on loop?
No, actually,
Yeah,
where
yes.
are singing
Yeah.
monsters? That'll be
Oh, yeah.
that'll be one of the.
Let's
You
not
haven't
go
watched the
there
video
yet.
yet.
I think
On our
we
YouTube
probably,
channel.
I think prior to release, we probably will create a couple Spotify playlists
It's
that
great.
we
I
can
think so.
share.
Yeah.
We did. I'll throw this out there. We
Yeah.
did have a conversation about what if we had like a droning track for each planet that felt to us like that planet. Would that be interesting?
Right, an ambient.
I don't think we can afford that right now, but
God.
how cool would that be to explore? I don't know.
Make it a
Is
super
that something
immersive.
that you would do at game night, or does that get in the way of conversations? I don't know.
5 minutes, by the way. 5 minutes
5
till
minutes
closing.
remaining.
Last call.
Matthew Joseph says,
Closing
if the
time.
O-Neb team was stuck on a desert island together for the rest of their life and could only bring Vindication or Unsettled, which would you bring?
Mark would bring earplugs.
We'd be dead. Like
I'd bring
It would make
Vindication
Yeah, I think I would
because
too.
I would rather fight against you all.
Ooh.
There can only be
Oh,
one.
that's interesting. Yeah, so if you can only have a co-op or
Exactly.
competitive game forever.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
for the
gonna
rest of
call
your
each other
life.
scumbag the whole time. We might as well do it in the right context.
Yeah, like
And-
with the scumbag.
You don't think that we should have the game that forces us to be on the same team and work through our problems?
No, because
No,
we're going to be
that's-
doing that
we
in our
have
real
to do
life.
that. We have to figure out who's getting firewood so that we have warmth.
So we don't die.
You don't think we will be slowly splintering and into factions? And
I'm leaving you.
the
for
answer
dead.
is yes. The answer is yes.
It's a terrible answer.
Both.
Raymond Corsetti wants to
That's
know
No, we have to choose. Everyone choose.
Vindication.
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 Unsettled.
Unsettled.
Oh,
You're just too committed to it right now.
you guys made the game or something.
Will planets
I was
keep,
just going to pick whatever you didn't.
will planets keep coming out for the game as future expansion releases?
yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's
Plan
the whole
box.
point.
That's the whole idea, was make it so that this game can be expanded $15 at a time.
And affordable.
Really
Right.
inexpensive expansion.
James Shade says hi.
Hey, James.
Hey. Okay. Brett Peterson is volunteering to do a bagpipe.
Can you play anything other than Amazing Grace?
That's
Oh.
a weird stipulation.
Jeremy Wagner says they use thematic music. Justin Gibbons is folding kids' clothes tonight. Hey.
Well done.
I don't believe it. Proof.
Way to take over the mental
Pictures
load.
are it didn't
Photos.
happen.
Photos, Justin.
Pictures are it didn't
100%
happen.
that ambient music.
And if
I
you
always
really
have
want to
something
do
going.
it, fold a fitted sheet and show it to us.
Oh yeah.
That's witchcraft.
That,
Just
yeah,
wire it
that
into
is
a ball.
some dark magic.
And then you put it in the closet so you never have to look.
Okay,
So
somebody
that's how
says
you
they're
use sheets.
still debating. You've got 4 minutes, my friend.
Yeah.
Still debating if they're gonna back or not.
They want us to
mean-
push them over.
I'll push him over.
Honestly, the answer is go with your gut. If it doesn't feel like you, then wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you should always buy things that you feel like. Go with your gut instinct.
Agreed.
Let your conscience be your
100%.
guide.
I'm so sorry I'm not getting to everybody's comments.
Yeah, there's
There's
a
a
lot.
Hashtag
lot
John
today.
Williams. That's right,
Try harder.
James.
I'm trying. Don't
Yeah.
yell at me. Play Unsettled more. Learn how to communicate.
James put hashtag John
You mean
Williams. I just
yelling
want
at each
shout
other is
out for
not
that.
communication?
No, it's not. Hello.
We just had a service tech walk. We've had no furnace for like the past several days.
That's
Today
just
is
That's
warm.
right. Now we're getting a furnace, everyone.
Sorry. We're talking to our computers. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just ignore us. Go on your way.
Matthew Joseph
Welcome to our
wants to
live
know if
stream.
we'll continue doing any live streams or if we'll go dark on them. Would they like that?
That's a good question.
Would you like consistent live streams?
So we've
from
talked a
us?
lot about bringing the Outpost podcast to a video format. Maybe it needs to have a live stream element tied into the tail end of it or something like that. That could be
Mhm.
really fun.
I like that a lot.
Or maybe it's just we record the podcast while live streaming. I don't know.
hmm
That could be interesting.
I've thought about that for a while, that we could live stream the podcast and then have the podcast episode be,
I mean, we lose
right.
the opportunity to edit out all the ridiculous things that happen, but maybe that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice. Mike Vaughn says this is one of the most immersive backings they've done. Oh my God, we're at 100 seconds to go.
100 seconds.
Kyle says videocast is greater than audiocast. Video killed the radio star. Mark, we're about to close.
I mean, he's dealing with this,
Mark,
the
just
furnace dude. Let him
Mark,
deal with the
start this.
furnace dude.
86
Yeah, but
seconds, 82
Unsettled
seconds. Oh my
Kickstarter
gosh,
only
I'm
come-
nervous.
Heat is on.
We have warmth.
The
Well
heat is
done.
on.
The heat is on.
Live podcasts are a win. 73 seconds. I'm actually nervous.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
For what?
it's
I
weird.
don't know.
It's gonna go nuts.
The power goes out.
Like my heart is just kind of beating really a lot.
Kickstarter just says error.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I'm sorry, you're
Ooh, the
camping.
countdown turned red. Oh, that is.
That's foreboding.
That's a bad color to turn.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. Why am I afraid? Why am I nervous?
I don't know, but I did it too. Like my
heart is.
There is something about a countdown that's threatening.
There is.
You're like,
Yeah.
you are running out of time for whatever.
And I go to
There's
check
only
my heart
30
rate. My
seconds.
Fitbit says the battery's gonna die.
36 seconds to cancel.
You're gonna check your heart rate. It says dead.
Patrick says, so we've established that Baby Yoda planet is next, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, if we wouldn't get hit with that cease and desist.
I
Christopher
go to
says
Disneyland enough. I'm sure
the
you guys
nervousness-
slide.
the nervousness is contagious. I've double checked my pledge 4 times now.
Oh, bless you.
You said that and it made me want to double check my pledge.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
Oh, 10. 10. Now it's 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm sweating.
4. Sweaty.
3, 2, 1.
One.
Oh, it does great! It does great! Oh, I forgot about this.
I'm too white for this.
Oh, you won't forget.
What?
Your face is red.
Thank you.
Okay, well. Oh my God, we're so.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm glad that's saved forever.
We did it.
Also, if you check the campaign page now,
Yes.
there's a thing about your coral planet.
Oh, what?
That was the graphic.
We were doing a
changing.
thing. Yeah.
You know,
Things
I
have
don't
been
know why
done.
we're
Do
all
the
so
thing.
shocked.
You did a thing.
Oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. I'm just reading everyone's comments on my own.
Good.
Wait,
Excellent. Keep this to
218
yourself.
just on one channel. What's on the other?
I know.
Well,
Happy New
first of
Year's.
all,
Happy
thank
New
you.
Game.
Thank you.
For real. Couldn't
for
have done
being-
without
Everyone
you.
say
For being a part of it.
congratulations.
Mhm.
It means everything to us. We all kind of live for this, and we just really appreciate it.
It is just so wonderful to be able to meet people and actually have real human connection with them, and
For real.
and even if it's across the world, you know.
And it's very moving to have your willingness to engage on the level that you are. You know, that's, you know, we're not surprised by it now because you've been doing it for a year and a half, but it is still deeply moving every time.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
conversations we have in the office are just consistently, what is happening? So thank you.
Yeah.
Matthew wants to know if Mark's gonna cry, but no, it'll be Tom.
Hey, Kenny. Oh, there's Kenny from the Facebook
I thought you were
comments.
talking to
The
the
service
service
rep.
guy. And
Bye,
now-
Kenny.
Oh my gosh, 10,527 backers.
That's wild.
That's cool.
That is very cool.
James asked, will
It's
you
a lot
guys
of
be at
community.
Yeah,
Gen
we'll
Con
be
this
at Gen
summer?
Con, buddy. You know it.
They're being
Bring
Gen
it
Con.
on,
Congrats
I
from
love Gen Con
Germany.
last year. It was so much fun.
Also, we heard a couple people say that these live streams are way better than reading a full update, so we should keep these up too.
Oh,
Mhm.
that
Have
is
somebody read
solid.
the
feedback.
updates out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I am all about us just reading the updates out loud in funny, dramatic voices.
Yes, yes,
We should,
please.
yeah, that's happening next time.
Okay, everyone wants to know where their game is.
Yeah. I have not received notification.
Look under your chair.
Oh man. Oh man. I like.
We'll see you at Gen Con, James.
Yeah.
I like James.
Yeah, if you can make Gen Con, we would love
Yeah,
to,
we'd love to
to
see
high
you.
five all you.
Will there be prototypes at any upcoming conventions? Are we going to any conventions before Gen Con?
We're not really. I mean, we might go to GameStorm just because it's here in Portland.
Yeah, we'll be at GameStorm. I don't know if we'll make Origins, but by then the prototypes will be at rest, and we're going to be deep in manufacturing. So, yeah, no.
Okay. Okay. We're getting lots of wonderful congrats. Mitchell says, I got shipping info, you jerk.
Yeah.
Don't start this.
This is from a scalper.
I'm triggered.
Oh, Bree
like
wants,
that.
So
okay,
triggered,
this
right?
is good.
I like this.
Bree goes, can we vote on the thematic style for each update reading?
Yeah.
So like costume, what costume we're gonna wear, what accent are we gonna wear?
Right, yeah.
Like a super,
which
festival.
era? Mhm.
Beep.
I just checked in FedEx and I don't see my shipping info.
Relax, poor backer.
You're so funny.
Yeah.
The end draw name is up, correct? Prototype at OrcaCon. What's OrcaCon?
That's in Seattle.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's going to that. Okay.
Quick.
Mike, bring us your prototype so we can update it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you some new stuff.
We shouldn't say who has the update. The other backers or the prototype, the other backers are going to hunt him down.
Get him.
I know.
Kyle Morrison on YouTube says this is the most fun Kickstarter he's ever been a part of.
Aw.
Yes.
That's
Thanks a
what we
lot.
like to hear.
Me
That's what we're
too.
going for.
This Adam T says excited for you guy and me. So I guess which of the guys is he excited for?
Derek.
Just me.
Yeah, that makes
Hey,
sense.
You
guy
guys
doesn't
and-
have
you
to
guys
be
and me.
gender specific. Lacey and I could be included in that.
That's fair.
But it wasn't
Keep
plural.
it you guys. Yeah.
But just a singular. So
But if anyone was going to be
You guys.
excited for any one of us,
No,
it's
okay.
obviously Derek.
This is probably right. There's a good
Yeah.
point about
Have you met Derek?
Look
He's
at him.
Just.
You can meet me at
He's
Gen Con.
adorbs.
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm charming.
Damn.
Just kidding.
He is charming. It's true.
Okay. Ooh, James says
Maybe-
I vote for
yes.
medieval bards. I want to
Yes.
see Tom in a floppy hat.
He
Yeah.
owns several.
That's
fair.
That's
That's
has to
fair.
happen.
I have hypothesized that in another life I was a medieval minstrel. Can you see that? Like
In
just
another life?
okay.
They're still,
I've even
Why not
thought
this
about
side?
having a channel called the Millennial Minstrel. You know, where I just pop in places, getting snacks
Like
and telling
public
stories
places.
with big arm
We
movements.
need to take that past thought of.
Okay.
We'll have like little
This is
mini
happening.
Okay. All
We need a
right.
whole channel for this.
We
We're
will.
going to launch YouTube with that and the Living with Ronak.
We didn't get that done yet.
We will. We did this instead.
I know.
that. Teresa.
You're right. Priorities.
Sorry, we failed.
All right. So we have scheduled approximately another 20-25 minutes to chill and hang out with you all. So if you have any other questions that you want to ask about, we will sit here. We probably scrolled over a lot of the ones that you did have.
So
React.
surface those bad boys.
If there's anything you're still curious about, pop it right in and I'll try to keep better. I'll do a better job. I promise. I'm sorry. Sorry. It was really
She
hard.
promises she's sorry.
It was really hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of screens here.
Uh-huh.
I know.
Screens,
I feel like
lights.
In all the screens. I say updates should be read in Oatmeal Dragon onesies. Obviously,
Seems.
we
Make it
gotta get
happen.
them.
Oatmeal Dragon versus Toot Toot onesies.
What does an oatmeal dragon's growl sound like?
Why?
I don't think that's what it sounds like.
Is it
That's-
better than that?
It would have to be because a growl is menacing,
But it's
right?
also an oatmeal dragon. You know, so it's
Yeah,
like
but that one came out of an oatmeal dragon. It's like this big.
I'm not gonna write any. I think it's perfect.
Do you
It's
really?
wrong, but it's perfect.
So that's like steel cut oatmeal dragon.
Steel
Yeah.
cut oatmeal dragon.
Not the quick oats.
Quick oats are like.
Yes, it's not soggy oatmeal dragon.
What about the packet oatmeal?
No.
No.
You mean the ones that have like
It's just cherry
sugar
cream
and
and
fake
strawberries and
fake-
cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, we are getting
Mine
a couple
was always
questions
crab
in.
apples.
dinosaurs that were in them and they hatched. Like,
What's next
Oh, I
for?
Ooh.
Listen up. What's
Mhm.
next for Orange Nebula?
Well,
What are we allowed to talk
Sleep.
about?
Manufacturing this game.
yeah, we have to
Yeah.
finish Unsettled. There's a lot to do on Unsettled still. So part of the strategy for us is that nothing that we make will ever be one and done. So we're making worlds. We're not just making a series of games. So we will be returning to the world of Vindication, and not just in games. You know, we may do comic books or toys or any number of other things relating to Vindication. We would love to hear what you would enjoy to explore in that world.
Yep.
And we'll expand the game. And we'll be doing more with Unsettled. And at some point, we will be introducing a third Orange Nebula world and then going deep in that. So the idea for us is let's make worlds and then continue to expand them, not just make a big list of one-off games. So you can always expect on the horizon more of these worlds we've started to explore.
Have you considered a timeline for when we are going to start releasing other planets?
Well, let's get this out.
Yeah, let's
first.
do
You're not comfortable
Six
making
planets is a
anything yet.
lot. There's
Mhm.
each one of them is so independently unique.
Mhm.
We want to make sure that they're super tight
Mhm.
when they go out. So
Okay, this is kind of echoing an earlier question, but I want to go through it again since they put it in here. When you considered projections for Unsettled, did you ever think it'd be so successful? You smashed all your previous records. So kind of to reiterate for us, like we didn't really have any expectations. We didn't know what to expect, but we did hope. We hoped. Getting to the position we're in now makes it so we can keep doing what we're doing. It makes it so that we can bring more of this into the world. It's like an approval stamp from all of you, and that's really all it is to us. Is, oh, great, you want this? We're gonna keep doing that then. None of us are gonna. Mark got a Vitamix last campaign. Like that was his investment from the last campaign. So you don't really make a lot of money off of these, but you are able to continue doing your job.
Vitamix are really nice.
They are.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
make a lot of
So that was a
smoothies.
great guy, dude.
We make
Yeah.
a lot of smoothies.
What really excites me about the campaign and reaching the point that it did is there are so many more planets that we want to make. And the fact that now 11,000 copies of this game are going to exist in the world.
Yeah.
There is now a groundwork to continue to build on that will have traction. And
Yeah.
that excites me because there's so much that we want to explore that I think we're going to be able to do now, which just makes focusing just on this game, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Will
Yes,
Vindication
limitless.
be in the pledge manager?
Yes.
Okay. Good. We had
Glad you're happy.
we've had a couple people ask about that, and I haven't been able to bring it in here. Do you expect to see fan planets after the full game ships?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm not sure what exactly the context is for that question. I think insofar as people making things and putting them on Board Game Geek, I think that will almost certainly happen, especially given the nature of this campaign. I think there's a lot of people who had fantastic ideas that they're going to want to see through. I think also part of the nature of us as a company and this game as a framework lends itself a lot to this type of process. And we are having conversations about what if we just design a planet on the website? We just do like we did on this Kickstarter, but it's not a Kickstarter. It's just, let's just on orangenebula.com build a planet this month. So that is in our heart and is not just something that we're going to restrict to Kickstarters.
Okay. On that vein, are we going to run any other Kickstarters in 2020? He goes, uh-huh.
Yes.
And I think you asked that question because you just want to hang out with us more.
That's why we're doing it.
Because we just want to hang out with
The
them more.
feeling is mutual.
Just hang out with us.
Are we
We're so
ever going to
lonely.
consider... Someone had a question if we would consider having a planet that focuses more on combat interactions with aliens. Is that something that would we take the worlds in that direction at all?
Anything is possible. We built this game so that we could do anything we want. And yeah, so I would say that nothing is, out.
We just
of
want to
the
do what we
question.
want.
Yeah.
And that's anything and everything.
Yeah, and whatever people want is is going to tilt us. Like everybody says this is what we want, we'll probably do something in that direction, but we're going to do it in a way that hasn't been done before. It's really important to us. We want to really kind of differentiate and come out of left field and be bizarre and wondrous, and that's we don't want to be just another game. We don't want to be just another company. We want to be different.
We want to be bizarre here.
This is funny from Adam. How long till Unsettled Kickstarter 2.0 with a rename? Thank you.
Oof.
We don't have to do that this time because we started with a trademark.
We'll put you on the
Okay.
wait list. No, let's just put him. He'll be the only one on the wait list.
Okay. Jeff Hodge said, "So excited for this game. Watched the full gameplay and woke up thinking about all the possibilities. I didn't read about any of the other planets. I want to be surprised."
Cool. That's what we're
Oh.
hoping for. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because you will be. That's the cool thing is we really didn't go deep into those. We just gave you a little preview. So
This is just the tiniest bit off topic, but I don't know if any of you work in medical. Like, my mom's an ER nurse, and I was watching the playthrough video and thinking this could totally be Unsettled in the ER. Like, real life, having to deal with what ooze is coming out of what holes. And I'm just saying, I could see it. It could work. Let me know if you're interested, okay? I'll put that on the docket. Yeah?
We'll have to get new minis though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you squeeze them and ooze comes
Yeah, you get it.
Yes.
You see Mark just puts his head down and just doesn't.
So it's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like,
a
no.
Play-Doh fun maker.
Rejected.
You want a vindication-based RPG?
I would love that. That would be
Yeah,
incredible.
we've talked about
I
that.
want it all.
there have been conversations about that. Yeah. Yeah. It's possible.
Okay. Do we all have a favorite team meal? I think they're saying, like, are you going out
Yeah.
for dinner after this? If you did, what's the favorite team meal?
I think we
I
can
think
all
it's
say
Thai.
Thai food.
one time.
Yeah.
Thai
we,
food?
We do
Oh,
Thai
it's
food
Thai
a lot.
food.
Yeah.
There's a
I
lot of
really
good
love
Thai places
Little
in Vancouver.
Conejo, though.
Little
But if-
Conejo is this artisan taco place that is super close. So if you're
Now let's answer this question again. Where do we go if Mark's not here?
1, 2, 3.
Sushi.
Sushi. It's
Okay.
always sushi. when it's not here.
1, 2, 3.
Sushi's delicious, man.
Gross.
So
You're
to
missing
give you
out.
guys an idea,
You're
they
fired.
had
No.
bagels this morning, but I'm a glutard, so I'm unable to consume. And so the bagel place has these little things. They're called spam musubis, and it's basically rice, spam inside, wrapped with a little bit of seaweed on the outside. And Mark hands it to me. He goes, "I will give this to you, but you must eat this outside or in the bathroom. I mean, you're not even allowed to open
Correction.
it in
That's
the."
not.
I said outside.
You're right. I added
She
that.
said, "May I eat it in the bathroom?"
You
I
said
said-
no.
I said no.
I
and
had
she-
I had to go to bat for her to get her permission to eat it in the bathroom.
Because we're in Vancouver. It rains every day.
And that thing that you eat smells like roadkill. So
Mark has a problem with smells, okay?
Especially fish smells.
I don't know if you all have noticed this too, but like I think his sense of smell is more heightened than most humans.
I hope so, given the role that it plays in all of our lives.
Right? Thank you. Christopher Enoch, given the level of community involvement in this project it would be awesome if some sort of tool set was available someday for folks to make homebrew planets or expand existing planets.
We have that in mind, and there's a lot of crazy stuff on BGG, and we always invite people to do whatever they want once they have, you know, the game or whatever we're doing. House rule, you know, change things, make up your own modules, whatever you want to do, go for it. We love that.
Well, and we hear you. That's easier to do with templates and things of that nature. That is definitely something we're talking about putting together. There's a bandwidth issue with taking the time to do all that file prep because that's always at the expense of something else. That said, we would like to do that because this is something we want to see happen.
And then really quick, Jim asks, what's the weirdest planet idea we wanted to use, but it's just mechanically impossible to work out? I think we can do anything.
Yeah, I don't think we've had an idea that was too weird to do yet.
I think
#too weird.
it's just about making it work inside the box. And so there are sacrifices to be made, but I think we always rise to the challenge. And if we wanted to do something, we could do it. I mean, it's a bold statement, but I think it's true.
Our good friend Tony Miller says a Vitamix was a great investment.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
Agreed.
so there you go. Andre over here says, you all are so casual. $1 million on the way. You guys just chill on the couch drinking coffee. Where's the champagne and fireworks? Well, listen, it's not really $1 million. That's not really what it is. It's like, hey, you get to keep your jobs.
Reach that.
And you get to go out to dinner.
In his defense,
We get a new furnace.
that deserves celebration. Being employed,
Right?
It's tops. Food on the table.
Oh, man.
Also, I think just if you just walked through this room with an open bottle of champagne, everyone would fall asleep.
That's true.
Yeah. We didn't even need the drinks, just the open bottle.
Yeah,
That's
right.
just
The smell.
Uh-huh.
The wafted
Man,
champagne.
I'm seeing comment after comment about fan planets. Just more and more people saying,
Oh yeah.
Good.
Card
Listen, we're
templates.
gonna play into
We'll
that.
hook you up.
We're gonna absolutely encourage that, and also may engage with that. I don't want to expand too much, and it's not to say we're gonna like make more community planets, but we'll probably make more community planets. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let's just start with what we started with. Get it out there, make it awesome, and have you guys, be super excited, and then we'll go from there.
okay,
100% maybe.
just
Oh, yeah.
checking on this, Justin Gibbons, if we didn't have the extra 15 to get the add-on discount during the campaign, will that be in place during the pledge manager?
So long as you're at the Explorer level, yeah, you can upgrade to whatever you want later.
Luke Brayson, does Luna make a decent latte?
Luna can do dang near anything.
She's
It's
fantastic.
true.
I don't know. In Mark's opinion, he's got high standards for his latte, though.
You have to
True.
program her in a
Very
certain
latte
way. If
picky.
you give her the advanced programming, she'll do it
Do you have to
properly,
have two, what is it, applied sciences?
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Formal.
and one formal.
sentences.
Just formal sciences.
You have a degree in lattes.
Jordan is checking out. Bye, Jordan.
Bye,
Jordan.
Good night. Unsettled Christmas shopping at the mall planet. Yes.
Yikes, that would be the
That's-
scariest problem.
That's really funny. I want to do
You
that.
want to know something kind of sad? The lowest funding day of the whole thing was Mark's birthday.
Yeah.
You didn't give us
Sad.
time to say whether we wanted to hear something sad.
Yeah.
That was just thrust upon me.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
not
like, I'm
fair.
sad now.
Yeah,
crying.
thanks for
I'm
that.
crying inside.
So Marcus Lee over here says, so what happens now that Unsettled has been kickstarted? We manufacture it.
Work.
hmm We manufacture it.
Yeah, there's still some balancing and tweaking needs to be done with all these planets. We still have to make the coral planet work, which is going to be.
And we have a round of playtesting on everything and several rounds that we'll need to do on the Coral Planet.
Yeah.
And then all the hundreds of hours of file prep and communicating with the factory and all that's still to come.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but we're looking forward to it.
Dinah and the
Bathroom-
kids are getting
oh, yeah.
FYI.
Dinah and the kids are getting Thai food.
Yes!
Dinah is Tom's wife.
Can you say hi to them? Are they watching?
Hi, Calvin. Hi, Clara.
Hi, we love you. Tony says bathroom eating is some serious dedication.
I do what I can.
It's less like dedication and it's more like avoiding
Yeah.
the reaction.
Shame-based eating is a part of my life
It
here.
always comes back to
It's a
this.
shame-based eating.
It does.
Any eating done in the bathroom is shame-based. Let's establish that.
Tony wants a meteoroid planet. And somebody else, Tony again wants a mall planet too.
Yeah.
Mall Planet's really funny.
Post-apocalyptic mall planet.
Oh, see, I was thinking like 80s mall board game kind of aesthetic. But she's
There
going
could be an
different.
apocalypse in the 80s.
Joey's given us a +1 for spam wasabi.
Musubi. He's amazing. He knows what he's talking about, that man.
Mitchell's asking, they didn't want to click away from the video. What was the official ending number? 10,528 backers, $1,136,000 and 580. Wait, how did I do?
No. How do numbers work? Wrong. Wrong.
136,587.
It's 1136587.
See?
Numbers.
Numbers.
How are we celebrating the campaign?
This.
We're coming
and
back
then.
to work
Hanging out with
tomorrow.
y'all.
I don't know.
I'm not setting an alarm.
Mitchell brings up a good point. There was
Oh my
cake last time,
gosh.
and we
didn't
have no
bring any
cake.
cake.
Way to set
I
the
had a cupcake
expectation
earlier,
for
but
me.
that doesn't count.
We made it this far without Lacey noticing that. Thank you, Mitchell.
Shut up. There's
You
no
can get a
gluten.
gluten cake or gluten-free cake.
Think of the gluten, Teresa.
Okay, so
Does it help that Mark and I thought about this earlier and decided, whatever?
the cake.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
You
talked
thought of
about
it,
it and
you're
we were
like,
like,
no.
there's stuff to do.
That's fine.
I would
You
have
could have
got
told
cake.
somebody else, delegated that.
Obligations.
You
Okay,
share your ideas with the group, okay?
I've seen this question.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
I've seen this question come up a few times, so let's talk to it for a minute. Are you
Good
ever
question.
open to proposals from outside designers? If not, do you have any advice for aspiring game designers?
Long answers to that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we're focused right now on building the worlds that we have lined up. We're not adopting the model of producing other ideas. That's not to say that we won't. There's a big learning curve that I had to go through personally. That was, it costs a lot of time and money and effort and education and years of life. And but for somebody who's really aspiring and wants it, there are more resources than ever in the world in this area to go do it.
I would say that the trick is to just make it and start playing it with people. A good resource, actually, Tony Miller, who is on here, has a podcast called Breaking Into Board Games that would be wonderful for you to start listening to. But just make it, play with people, go to conventions, put it in front of people. It's a lot of legwork, and you just grind it until the mechanics are working and people are loving it and people are enjoying it, and then it turns into pitching it to publishers with the understanding that they're going to change 40% of it.
You have to have a thick skin, be
Mhm.
prepared to just believe in what you're doing, even if it's broken, and imbalanced and not working well, and still getting people to play it, even though they're kind of expecting a balanced game. Even when they're playtesting, it's even hard now with our playtesters. Kind of the expectation is this is going to be really fun, and really the process of playtesting is more about what's possible and So anyway, I could go on there, but I would say never cease that thirst should never end. You should never feel like you're at the end of it. You should constantly be learning and asking people and playing your game and open to criticism.
Tony just did a little shout out on YouTube about lots and lots of game resources. Find him on Twitter, Bearded Rogue,
Mhm.
if you want to hear a little bit more.
He's super approachable. I can vouch for that.
Carly, I've seen this question come up a few times too. Are we ever going to do a 5 to 6 player on this, or are we happy with it at 4?
It's not on the immediate list of things to pursue.
Okay.
It's also not impossible. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. We determined early on that we're trying to create an experience that has a certain amount of time. And if the games get too long, that's one of the considerations. And so we think right now the way the game is, 2 to 4 players is ideal. That being said, if we can make a 5 or 6 player game version work, maybe it's just one planet that has different rules and it has a couple extra players. That's interesting and cool, and something we might pursue in the future.
It's important to us that whatever we market our games at is the best player count. We don't want to release a 1 to 6 player game that's really a 3 and 4 player game.
Right.
So, yeah, we could have shoehorned a 5th player into this, but no, it's not the experience we were after, so we didn't.
I just came up with a new expansion. Unsettled, so you're going to be parents edition. How much resources, how much energy, how much dirty diapers.
Just what everyone wants for their escapist evening.
Allison Chase says hi.
Hey, Allison.
My mom just says mom watching. That's what my mom. Hi, Mom. I love you.
Is that what she said in high school too?
And I'm sorry. She said hand check. And I'm sorry I'm wearing holy jeans, Mom.
Holy jeans.
I know you'd be upset. Dan wants to know if we have any plans for a new game yet. We're not planning on launching another game. It takes us for a little while.
Yeah, we got to finish this one first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's a lot of there.
I know. There is a lot.
288 comments. That just spun up. And then what is this one?
The babysitting planet. See, you get it.
I will say though,
Adventures in Babysitting.
look for a game from us in the future that isn't the same scale as Vindication and Unsettled.
Didn't you say that after you created Vindication and then created Unsettled?
Yeah, but this time there's a plan.
Justin
There's
says.
not just an intention.
Okay.
Justin just finished folding the clothes. That's your first survival
He
task.
just finished folding that fitted sheet.
That's his one survival task done for the day.
Yeah, that's a lot of endurance spent on one task. You've got 3 more to go, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how do you pronounce that? Teresa, you're officially the pronouncer.
Oh, great. Hey, I'm going to butcher your name. Welcome. Olafur?
I like it. Participated in plenty of campaigns. This has been the most engaging experience for me. Thanks for the fun throughout the campaign and making it a game I'm super excited to play.
Glad to have you. Thank you.
Okay. Anas, you're welcome to send us a couple of private messages if you want to send us some of the ideas that you have. You're welcome to do that. Okay. Let's see here. Tony just finished the dishes.
Yeah.
See, I
You
think
can come to my house and do the dishes as well.
Unsettled Real Life would be a really relatable game. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Real Life
We'll
edition.
call it Unsettled High, and it's just going to be about teen dating.
This got real just
Yikes.
awkward and awful. Ew.
I'm glad I moved them away. from
Can't
this.
fast forward your
Yeah,
lines of
no.
that.
Okay, I think we might be through things. Igor from Germany.
We're down to dishes and sheet folding, so
Okay, and we're right at our
Oh, I was told I was close enough. Okay,
Our
cool.
4:30.
Thank you.
Olafur.
He's being Jennifer.
That's-
Yeah.
He's being Jennifer. You just say.
He's
Instead of
recording
Jennifer.
the voice
Yeah.
thing and sending it to me.
Great.
Can you tell we're tired?
Yeah.
Okay, you happy? I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're right at our-
Did we nail the questions?
We did. Look, I'm at the bottom of the questions. It's 4:30.
That was like,
That's amazing.
hey.
Weird.
Thanks and hooray, Leslie
Yeah.
says.
Thank you, Leslie.
Again, listen, everybody out there, each person is really important to us, and we don't know all of you. We wish we did. Please
Surprising number.
continue to communicate with us. We love the ideas, the excitement, the constructive criticism. Even it's great. We're an open book and want to just let you know that we really mean it when we say this is why we do this. There's better ways in this world to make money. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. I've been in business for a long time, and this is not a money thing. This is a creativity thing. And if there's anything that we can do better to inspire other people to think bigger and to unlock their creativity, please let us know. We're open. And yeah, that's my thing. I'll just say that.
And we don't want this to be confined to these campaigns. If you're not a member of the Outpost community on Facebook, that is a group that we have created with the sole intention of continuing this sort of thing when we're not in campaign season. So come, hang out, share your creative things you're working on, share your Yoda memes. It's just a community space, and we would love to see all of you flock there.
Super casual.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everyone else is still in on my Unsettled real life version. Just saying.
You know,
Shout out to Cheyenne.
Jim Priest posted something like on one of the tasks, but I think he's missing on one of the best ones is for a home edition, which is the game of Find That Smell. Because it'll never end in cupcakes.
Also, I want to do a shout out. Kelly Lane here, who is Joey Hickman's wife.
Hey.
Thank you for play testing our game so much.
Yeah.
So wonderful for doing that.
Mhm.
And we're excited for you to play more planets too.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, it just jumped to 301. Holy.
The comments.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Whoop, whoop. No, there's no way to make good money easily. It's just a lot of work, just like everything else, in my opinion.
There's not really even a way to make good money difficultly.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a passion thing.
You just make regular money
Mhm.
grinding.
Mhm.
The end.
And this has been us. Thanks for listening.
You grind and then you die. Good night.
Okay.
Grind and die.
Grind and die.
Orange Nebula.
Maybe for one
Yeah,
last
sure.
plug,
Grind and die.
Yeah.
we didn't get to end up doing the world building podcast yet because someone in my family died, and that was sad, and I cried for a long time. So we're gonna do the next podcast. I would still like to do it on world building because this has been such a cool
should.
experience. So that'll be the next one to come
We'll
out.
be better rested. It'll be better quality.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So that'll be the next one to come out. We'll put out a request in the Outpost community group for questions during that podcast. So
join the outpost.
Mhm.
Outpost community group
In Facebook.
on
Yes,
Facebook,
on Facebook. Good call.
Unsettled board game group. We adore you. You're wonderful. I'm gonna make some peanut butter blossom cookies.
Oh yes.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, that
Told
we
you.
had third-party validation.
Told you.
Oatmeal raisins, where it's at.
Oatmeal dragon, oatmeal raisin
Oatmeal-
dragon.
Oh my goodness.
You could make them into the
Okay.
shape of dragon heads.
Oh boy. Oatmeal raisins.
Oatmeal-
Oatmeal
Raisin
raisin
dragon.
dragon.
Dragon eggs.
It's like a different kind of oatmeal dragon. So it's the raisin brown sugar oatmeal dragon.
Oh my gosh.
This
There's
last
like
dragon.
factions.
Blueberry.
They have
Okay.
guilds.
I think this is our new game. Oatmeal Dragon, the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll see it.
Cancel all other projects.
Done. We're done.
I'm gonna
No
push
more.
the red button
You
now.
have
For
to
a
push
year.
it like 6 or
Okay.
7 times. We're
I'm gonna push
Thank
the
you.
red
Bye,
buttons.
everybody. Thank you so
Really?
much.
We
love
adore
you.
you.
We love
Very
you.
grateful.
Really.
See you later.
Bye.
Red button.
Red button.
Red
There's
button.
more red buttons. I just
Red
pushed.
button.